Well, just a 5-play, 12-yard drive for Rifle off the Beet Digger fumble. In a minute, 27 seconds, James Martinez dives in from a yard out, and Rifle now leads Brush 13-7. This was a tight game 1 year ago in the opening half before the Beet Diggers exploded in the second half. And the Beet Diggers are hoping for much of the same tonight, trailing by 6 on their home field as Marlowe's going to kick it off. Shea Hansen is the deep man, standing at his own 9-yard line.
Rifle lines up in sort of a huddle right behind the tee, and they're one of those teams that they wait for the whistle to blow, and then they run up there and they approach the ball, and then after that they spread out. So they have the threat for that onside kick.
There's a high end-over-end kick fielded at the 6 by Hansen. He drops the football, picks it up, straight ahead to the 10, running right. He's going to be corralled at the 14-yard line, and there's a flag, and that could be even worse for the Beet Diggers if it's against Brush, because they'll be inside their 10-yard line. And, in that situation, penalties don't need to be committed because there was already an issue just dropping the football. It's a hold against Brush, more than likely half the distance. Which, if that's the case, the Beet Diggers will start more than likely at around the 7-yard line. So that's essentially a 7-yard penalty against the Beet Diggers. By the way, Dave, let's welcome our listeners on the web from Rifle as well. Long trip, and some of them couldn't make it, so welcome them here on KSLYard.com. 11:29 to go. In the second quarter, the Bears lead the Beet Diggers 13-7, 1st and 10, back split. Hand off to Morrow. Check that. Weiser running off left tackle to around the 10, if he even got that far. And the tackle was made over there by Jake Massey, the 6'3", 250-pound senior. That's lots of beef there. Give him 3 yards, 2nd down and 7.
30 yards on 7 carries now for Weiser. All of those are in between the tackles.
Just shy of the 10-yard line. Tony Guzman is the receiver to the left. Tanner Morrow's also in that backfield with Weiser, 2nd down and 7. And there's the handoff right side and corralled in the backfield. Losing close to 5 yards is Tanner Morrow, and Rifle was not fooled whatsoever. Massey was in on the tackle along with junior Marcus Arroyo, a 5'6", 140-pound linebacker. And they'll mark it back, to around the 7. It's a loss of 3, 3rd and 10.
Rifle's in a good position here. When they have your back against your own goal line, it's easy to just tee off and just go after you because, there's just not a lot of room to work there for that offense.
The Beet Diggers have yet to throw a pass in this game. They might have to now. 3rd and 10 from the 7. Kukas this time on the bootleg left, wants to take off with a football, gets a block towards the sideline at the 10, cuts it back inside, and he's going to be taken down at around the 13-yard line. Some nifty running by C.J. Kukas as he gained 6 yards in the play, short of the first down. And even though the Beet Diggers don't pick up the first down, what they do have is an excellent punter in C.J. Kukas.
Yeah, they have a little bit of room to punt with now, too. It's Kukas lined up there to run that bootleg, but Rifle, they have their nose tackles in there stacked against our offensive tackles, and then their 2 defensive ends. They're lined clear out wide there, so they were watching out for the wide stuff. They really didn't care if we ran off tackle.
C.J. Kukas is standing at the goal line. Burgess is deep along with Ty Leonard. A high end-over-end short kick. It'll bounce at the 44-yard line. Fielded on a hop by Leonard. Slips out of a tackle at the 40. Down the left sideline at the 35-yard line. And he runs out of bounds. And Rifle has outstanding field position as they'll place the football inside the 30, maybe to the 29. Be about an 18-yard return for Ty Leonard. And actually, that could have been a heck of a punt had it rolled in the right spot, but it took a perfect hop for Ty Leonard.
Yeah, landed right in his hands. And then the bad thing was our coverage guy, he was right there ready to make the tackle, but he ran by him, and he needed to break down in front of him and wait for Leonard to make his move before he tried to tackle him. He just ran by him and just gave him the angle to run straight ahead.
1st and 10 for Rifle at the Brush 29-yard line, leading 13-7. 9:23 to go in the second quarter. For all of your auto supply needs, stop by Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. Shotgun for Burgess. 2 receivers split out to the left and right. 1 setback. Burgess back to throw. Little pressure coming. Lofts it up the left side. That pass going to be incomplete at the 3-yard line. In and out of the hands of Cody Chick. Actually more of a slant Chick was hit hard at around the 3, the 5'10", 160-pound junior wide receiver. Quite frankly, that was a perfect throw.
Boy, it was a nice throw, and I happened to catch a glimpse of Kyle Muir rushing from his defensive end position on this side of the field. And, boy, he had to take a wide path to get to Burgess, but Burgess, I guarantee you, heard those footsteps.
Well, expect a running play considering that Rifle has not thrown the ball on 2 consecutive plays. 2nd down and 10 from the 29. Burgess will hand it off, and very little right up the gut to Leonard. And that is Ty Leonard, a gain of around 2 to the 27. Tyson Larrick was in on the play. 3rd down and 8 with under 9 to go in the second, and Rifle leading by 6.
Again, it seemed like the Diggers had him wrapped up there at the line of scrimmage, but again, tackling a little bit too high, not getting down there around those legs is allowing Rifle to lunge forward. All they have to do is fall forward for 2 or 3 more yards.
And this is exactly the opposite of what you were saying last week when it came to the tackling. Last week the tackling was low, so you wonder, what's happening in this particular game.
That's why high school sports is so interesting.
Yeah. Well, but again, when you have an experienced team, usually you see the consistency week after week. And, in this case, something you mentioned, they're facing a completely different type of offense as opposed to last week. More speed. They're out of the shotgun. Last week it was more of a smash mouth type of offense, under center. They threw the ball fairly effectively, even though Holy Family didn't throw the ball a lot. Maybe that type of offense was more suited for Brush's defense, and this one has become a little bit of an adjustment for the Bead Diggers, who have allowed 13 points in this game.
That very well could be, and that happens with matchups. Great teams can lose to teams that aren't so great just because the matchups are just right.
3rd down and 8 for Rifle at the Bead Digger 27-yard line. After a timeout by Rifle, shotgun formation, and that was a problem for the Bears. Plenty of movement before the snap. It'll be a legal procedure. So that 5-yard penalty will take them back to the 32, and all of a sudden, that's going to set up a 3rd and 13. So the Bears are a little bit out of sync. And you would think, once again, this is 4-down territory. I don't think Rifle's got a kicker even though Drew Marlowe's kicked the ball pretty well in his kickoffs, maybe, let's see if he's got a leg like Jonathan Gary did for Holy Family last week, who nailed 3 field goals in a 15-6 Holy Family win. 3rd and 13. There's the pitch right to Leonard. He wants to throw the football. Heaves it up. There's a man out there, but it's picked off. Or was it dropped? Dropped. And it was dropped by the Bead Digger, Brandon Rutherford, at the 10-yard line. There were 2 receivers out there, but the ball was grossly underthrown.
And then right there at the end, Dylan French was able to put a big smack on the passer, and that might have been one of the things that caused the pass to be underthrown so bad.
Yeah, it was a duck that came out of Ty Leonard's right hand. A well-designed play, but the Bead Diggers were not fooled. There was an open seam momentarily for Rifle, and they're going to call another timeout. We'll take it with them. 8:40 to go, second quarter from Bead Digger Stadium. It's Rifle 13, Brush 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.